Chapter 1. The City of Shadows. In the heart of a divided Berlin, the air was thick with tension, a silent testament to the precarious peace maintained by invisible lines and whispered agreements. The city, a living entity of clashing ideologies, vibrated with the restless energy of espionage, where secrets were the currency of survival. The Stasi, the CIA, the KGB, all were players on this grand stage of deception, each vying for dominance in the delicate dance of global supremacy.
Elara Sinclair navigated these murky waters with the grace of an experienced dancer, moving through the shadows like an apparition. To the world, she was as enigmatic as the city itself, known only as the Obsidian Wraith among those who dealt in secrets. The moniker had been earned through years of seamless infiltration, the fruits of a tireless dedication to a cause that had long since lost its allure. In the quiet corners of her mind, a question lingered, one that grew louder with each passing mission. What had she truly achieved in this life steeped in deceit?
Elara's latest orders came in the form of a nondescript envelope slipped under the door of her Spartan apartment in West Berlin. The contents were simple, an encoded message, a set of coordinates, and a reference to a cryptic dossier named the Crescent Cipher. The directive was clear: retrieve the dossier, ensure its contents remained hidden from unfriendly hands, and return with it to the sanctioned checkpoint. The familiar surge of adrenaline sharpened her senses, momentarily pushing aside the wariness that had crept into her soul.
She stood by her window, the city sprawled out before her like a mosaic of possibilities and dangers. The Berlin Wall cast its long shadow through the streets, a constant reminder of the fractured world she operated in. It was neither the first time she had been in Berlin, nor would it be the last, but this mission felt different. The stakes were higher, the potential consequences more dire. The Crescent Cipher was rumored to be more than just a cryptographic puzzle. It was believed to hold the key to an ancient technology with the power to reshape the world, for better or worse.
Elara's thoughts drifted to Philip, her contact within the labyrinthine web of informants cultivated over the years. He was reliable, resourceful, and above all, discreet traits that had kept him alive in this perilous game. As the clock ticked towards their arranged meeting, she donned her carefully curated geyser blend of unassuming confidence and intentional anonymity. Her attire was understated yet practical, her dark hair pulled into a tight knot, her eyes hidden behind oversized sunglasses. The bar, where their rendezvous was set, was a relic of a bygone era, its dimly lit interior populated by patrons seeking solace from the world's harsh realities in the bottom of a glass. Philip was seated in a shadowy corner, nursing a drink and scanning the room with the vigilance of someone all too aware of the dangers lurking in every quiet exchange. When Elara approached, his familiar nod of recognition was a welcome beacon in the sea of unfamiliar faces. Their conversation was conducted in hushed tones, the words veiled within the sounds of ice clinking in glasses and the low hum of conversation.
The Moonwalker has been busy.
Philip smirked, tapping the side of his nose in acknowledgement. We all have our ghosts, don't we?
She caught the hint of irony in his voice, a shared jest amid the absurdity of their world.
What have you heard?
Rumor says the Moonwalker has been seen frequenting the eastern sectors. No specifics, just whispers. But if you're tackling the Crescent Cipher, you'll want to stay 3 steps ahead.
Elara's gaze drifted, her mind calculating the potential implications. The Moonwalker was an elusive figure, a rival whose skill and cunning matched her own. Their paths had crossed before, leaving behind tangled webs of thwarted missions and counterplots. The fact that her adversary was directly linked to her latest assignment added an unexpected layer of complexity.
Philip's voice pulled her back from her reverie. The Crescent Cipher, what do you know? He leaned back, casting a contemplative look across the bar. There's always more at play than what's visible. But some say it's not just about power. It's about the nature of power, who controls it, and at what cost.
Their eyes met, an unspoken understanding bridging the gap between them. Elara reached for her glass, reflecting on his words. Her commitment to the mission was unwavering, but a seed of doubt had taken root. Was there more at stake than she had been led to believe?
Philip shifted, signaling the end of their discussion. Be careful, Elara. This time even the shadows are watching.
As she departed into the Berlin night, the cool air nipping at her skin, Elara's thoughts turned inward. Her mind replayed scenes from her past missions, spectral echoes of decisions made and alliances forged. Her years as the Obsidian Wraith had taught her that the world was seldom black and white, but the looming sense of uncertainty felt different this time. The Moonwalker, the Crescent Cipher, Berlin itself, all pieces of a puzzle strewn across a chessboard where the players moved unseen. Elara knew better than to expect clarity, but the fundamental question remained. In the delicate dance of spies, could she trust herself to discern the truth? With each step, the city's whispers enveloped her, shadows lingering beneath the watchful eye of the moon. Chapter 2, Below the Surface. In the days following her meeting with Philip, Elara went underground, slipping into the city's hidden arteries. Berlin was a labyrinth of tunnels, subterranean corridors, and forgotten places, remnants of older conflicts layered beneath the current one. It was within this underworld of shadows that she found sanctuary, away from prying eyes and the ever-looming threat of betrayal. Each passage was a portal to new information, unseen movements in the espionage chess game. The Crescent Cipher beckoned, its promise echoing through the unseen corridors of power. Rumors spoke of its origins. Some claimed it was a relic of a bygone civilization, while others believed it was a creation of modern genius cloaked in mystery. Whatever the truth, Elara's path was clear. Find it, unlock its secrets, and prevent it from becoming an instrument of destruction. Her instincts led her to an old contact working deep in the East, a cerebral maestro in the art of cryptography named Dietrich. He had the mind of a poet wrapped in the guise of a mathematician, a rare individual who could parse the nuances of numbers and words with equal elegance. Despite, or perhaps because of, his unorthodox methods, he remained a trusted source in a world where trust was a dying currency. The building that housed Dietrich's workshop was an unimposing structure on the city's east side, draped in anonymity like the many others that flanked it. Elara entered unobtrusively, her presence as unnoticed as the secrets contained within its walls. As she ascended the building's time-worn staircase, the musty air seemed to exhale histories untold. Dietrich was hunched over a desk covered in papers and peculiar devices, each apparatus contributing to his noble pursuit of understanding the indecipherable. He barely acknowledged her entrance, his attention absorbed by the enigma before him. Finally, his fingers paused, and he glanced up with a wry smile.
Elara Sinclair, the ghost of the espionage world in my humble domain. What brings you to my haven of intellectual chaos?
The desire to unravel a cipher of lunar aspirations,
She replied, her tone laced with a levity that belied the gravity of her mission.
His eyes widened with genuine curiosity. The Crescent Cipher, I presume? You have my interest.
Elara's experiences had taught her how to read people, and Dietrich's sincerity was as evident as the ink staining his fingertips. She leaned over his desk, sharing the coded fragments she had accumulated, a mosaic of clues pieced together through myriad channels. His nimble fingers danced across the papers, coaxing them to reveal their silent stories. He mused, deciphering the code with the expertise of an artist painting a masterpiece.
Its creators are unmistakably gifted, yet their intentions remain veiled.
Elara's patience wore thin as anticipation coiled within her. What can it do? What's its potential?
Its potential is frighteningly vast, Dietrich replied, his eyes never leaving the text. From what I've gleaned, it harnesses an energy form so ancient that its existence borders on myth. Its origin might be the remotest part of history, its application both boundless and dangerous.
An energy form, a concept as captivating as it was terrifying. Elara allowed the weight of it to settle within her, giving shape to the shadows she had been navigating. In the hands of those driven by ambition and disregard, such power could eclipse any semblance of order. Dietrich's gaze met hers, earnestness flickering like a candle in the dark.
Elara, you must be careful. There are forces in this world that see only power, not the consequences of wielding it.
She nodded in agreement, her mind mapping the road ahead, fraught with challenges and perils. Her path crossed with that of the Crescent Cipher was one marked by contradictions, a future brimming with potential and destruction, poised on the razor's edge. But between Dietrich's caution and the Crescent Cipher's allure, she found herself confronting another spectre, the Moonwalker. Their enigmatic rivalry haunted her steps, a game of cat and mouse that thrived in ambiguity. As much as the challenge invigorated her, their shared history posed questions she couldn't easily dismiss. Who was more in control of the game when both players were hidden behind masks?
Dietrich's voice broke through her contemplation. "I assume you'll proceed with caution, but courage too," he offered, an ironic smile, the punctuation to their shared understanding of the life they led.
A holographic memory imprinted on her mind, Elara thanked him, retreating into the shadows once more. She wove her way through the labyrinth beneath Berlin, every footstep anticipating the unknown. Echoes of the city's secrets murmured around her, memories and future alike coalescing into a tapestry of unspoken realities. As she emerged from the depths into the waning daylight, Elara found herself seeking the horizon, her heart aligned with the city's whispered stories amidst betrayal and loyalty, darkness and light, each piece a part of the dance she was fated to master. The lines between hunter and hunted blurred, drawing her further into the moonlit embrace of secrets, a realm where whispers held the key to her destiny. Chapter 3, A Fragmented Past. Elara found herself venturing deeper into the familiar yet eternally mysterious cityscape of Berlin. Unlike the more clandestine environment of the underground, the surface world was awash with vibrant life, reflecting the paradox that haunted the city, an elaborate dance of reality and illusion interwoven with a compelling sense of danger. Her instincts pulled her toward Charlottenburg, a borough nestled with historical significance, its richness in culture juxtaposed with the scars left by war. It was here she would meet Ingrid, an ally, albeit an unconventional one. Ingrid was a woman of complexities, a guide to some hidden avenues, and a master in the art of subterfuge. Ingrid's realm was a cozy tea room, a vestige of old-world sophistication amid the modern chaos, where elegance sat naturally with intrigue. Shelves lined with dusty tomes and porcelain treasures told stories within stories, lived, relived, and cherished, where whispers danced across steaming cups of tea. Gossip, camaraderie, and secrecy coexisted, each moment charting a course through the intersection of worlds. Elara entered with deliberate stride, her appearance unnoticed amidst the absorbing aura of the establishment. Ingrid was behind the counter, preparing the voice name Ivy Day's offerings. Everything from calming green teas to invigorating black brews designed to engage the senses.
Ah, the Obsidian Wraith herself. Ingrid chimed with mirth, placing down her tools, engaging with a dance as old as the moon itself.
There was comfort in Ingrid's manner, an assurance that made inquiries a fluid exchange rather than a mined field. Elara joined her at a private corner, seeking to blend their words within the symphony of clinking teacups and low conversations.
The Crescent Cipher, and the Moonwalker in particular, are our lines converging again?
Elara asked, voice measured.
Ingrid's expression offered no clues. Instead, she spoke softly, weighing each word. The Moonwalker is a whisper in daylight, a reflection of a truth not easily seen. But that's expected among those of us bound by silken threads and iron laws.
Elara's keen senses registered the possible insight behind Ingrid's statement. The Moonwalker's identity she couldn't divine, but she knew what dance she was engaging in. The Crescent Cipher's power attracted agents from every spectrum of loyalty, but her own interest in it was personal, professionally sanctioned ventures aside.
When did your path diverge?
Elara inquired, folding her fingers around a cup of steaming tea. With a sigh, Ingrid leaned back, contemplating her response as their conversation shifted to a deeper tone.
Throughout broken promises and disillusionment, we're all survivors of a dream that died. Post-war Berlin has become the crucible of lost souls searching for answers.
Lost dreams and questions, clouded memories fluttered within Elara's mind, interwoven with the faces of those she had left behind. Her connection to the Crescent Cipher was never just a mission. It tugged at memories of a different life, one she had abandoned in exchange for the life of shadows. With the Moonwalker haunting her present, those memories sought recognition, nostalgic and bittersweet. Her work demanded sacrifices, many of which came wrapped in the veneer of nobility, but time had eroded those illusions, leaving her wary of their deceptive shimmer. Closing her eyes, Elara absorbed Ingrid's revelation, attuned to the pulse of the past resonating too close to forget. There was no finality in their discussion, yet there was no need for one, not here, where each sip of tea contained the essence of understanding. In their lack of pretense, they shared solidarity across silent understanding, a friendship sparked from the embers of chaos. Ingrid's words lingered during Elara's quiet reflections, the gentle ascendancy of connections made, lost, and remade. Stepping from the tea room's hushed ambience, Elara bore the weight of her musings into the open air, dusted with night's promise. The world felt smaller, yet infinite, shaped by echoes of truths unattained, as she walked amidst shadows that waltzed across Berlin's historical grandeur. In a city marred by separation, yet bound in unity's remnant spirit, Elara acknowledged the echoes, a dance of the past and present, colliding amidst each whisper in the shadow of the moon. Her journey called for resolve, the Crescent Cipher her destination, and the Moonwalker her mirror, reflecting adversary, ally, and the edge of understanding she sought amongst paths that wove all shades of intention. Chapter 4: The Labyrinthine Conspiracy. As the full moon drenched Berlin in its ethereal glow, Elara Sinclair found herself entrenched within a web of intrigue that grew more complex with every layer she unraveled. Each piece of information, every interaction seemed to lead her further down a spiral of deception, entwined with powerful players, all invested in the Crescent Cipher. Elara's path was marked by ghosts of her past missions, the spectral remains of choices made for duty conflicting with personal resolve. She had become a fabled entity in the espionage world, her skills unrivaled, but the toll it exacted had left empty spaces within her spirit that even success couldn't fill. As the city shifted closer to twilight's end, Elara moved deeper into the underbelly of Berlin, navigating the city's unseen channels, cultivated by generations of spies and resistance fighters alike. Each step she took felt preordained, purposeful, her destination a clandestine enclave operated by a syndicate of information brokers. There, through shadowed halls and whispered exchanges, she learned more of the Crescent Cipher's fragmented past. The information she uncovered appeared disparate, a patchwork of anecdotes blending myth with reality, yet an intriguing pattern began emerging. It seemed the Crescent Cipher had origins shrouded in the enigmatic lore of an ancient civilization, predating even legendary Atlantis. Whispers told of an artifact forged from celestial power, a convergence of earthly elements and lunar influence. Its legacy exceeded mere cryptography, threatening humanity's very understanding of energy and the boundaries of its control. Elara's informant emerged from the cryptic layers of the Enclave, a figure known simply as Vesper. They exuded an aura of quiet competence, the kind that spoke more of their capabilities than could be gleaned from their appearance. Their presence lent credence to what Elara believed, a rare ally in her pursuit of truth.
As they exchanged information, Vesper's voice carried the weighted robustness of one used to dealing in secrets. The Moonwalker is seeking the Crescent Cipher too. There's something they're chasing, something beyond control.
Elara's eyes narrowed, analyzing the implications. She had always envisioned the Moonwalker as a rival embodying brilliant enigma, but what lay beneath their motives demanded she reassess their position in the labyrinth of espionage.
Could it be more than a power play?
She pressed, seeking clarity.
Their gaze held a glint of something akin to compassion, a testament to shared experience within parallel worlds. Elara, not all players know their roles. Some march just as much as pawns as they do orchestrators. Be wary, for the heart often guides choices more than strategy admits, even within games ensconced in darkness.
The words resonated deeply within Elara, striking chords with her own conflicted past, where duty clashed with emotions she struggled to contain. Her rivalry with the Moonwalker was molded by perceived opposition, but along their tangled paths emerged patterns of reflection rather than divergence. Elara found herself at a crossroad besieged by doubt. How well did she comprehend the Crescent Cipher's essence? Did she seek its immense potential for preservation or destruction? And which did the Moonwalker pursue? Yet doubt served as both burden and guide. Berlin's stringent geography offered respite, allowing Elara to peer into the expansive tapestry spun by years of strategic maneuvers and covert operations. Here, her thoughts echoed within the bespoke boundaries of history, a reservoir she could draw strength from as needed. Her mission wove through stories of adversaries, friends, and blurred affinities, threads of a tapestry conspiring in shadowy bounds. The Crescent Cipher awaited patiently within their convergence, a treasure beacon shedding light where darkness clung to possibilities. As she moved forward into the city's thread-work tapestry, one truth emerged clear amongst mystery. Elara must transcend rivalry's tethered bonds if she was to truly succeed. The Moonwalker now acted as a counterpart deeply intertwined with her subversive journey. Together, their paths forged under the moon's watchful eye harbored truth, even if that meant unveiling what lay shrouded in secrets less willingly shared. The countdown to finding the Crescent Cipher had begun. Whispers shared between shadows would soon turn operatic against the rising swell of history's inexorable tide. Chapter 5, Duel of Shadows. Night had fallen once again on Berlin, cloaking the city in the protective embrace of darkness. Elara Sinclair continued her relentless pursuit, moving through the flickering paths of alleyways, her mission driving her on with undeniable ferocity. It was time to meet the one who had orchestrated these shadows from the onset, the elusive figure known as the Moonwalker. Elara's engagement in the world of espionage, with its intricate conspiracies and well-guarded secrets, dictated her next steps. Every instinct honed from years of navigating treacherous waters told her to tread cautiously, but counterbalancing that was a deeper yearning to uncover the truth, to understand the choices they shared, bound by fate to intersect on this night. Her footsteps echoed softly against the cobblestones, guided by moonlit luminescence as she made her way to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. The place held an air of forsakenness, a relic left behind in the wake of shifting destinies. Yet within its walls, the air crackled with anticipation, filling the void with an unspoken promise that something monumental was about to unfold. As Elara crossed the threshold, she remained acutely aware of the stakes. It was a meeting unlike any before, one where rivalries, aspirations, and fate itself coalesced into the defining moment she had awaited. Here lay the truth she sought, pulsing within the shadows that dared not speak too loudly. A figure emerged within the dim expanse, a silhouette fraught with tension, yet exuding steady composure. This was the Moonwalker, the enigmatic counterpart who had deftly maneuvered within Elara's cherished realm of obscurity. Their mutual awareness rippled like electricity, invisible currents running amok through the charged atmosphere.
The Moonwalker spoke first, shedding light upon the darkness that had veiled them both. Do you know what truly lies beneath this game's surface? Their voice threaded through the silence, rhetorical yet probing.
Elara held her gaze steady. Within their fiery brilliance burned truths long sought yet evaded. This, what lies between us, transcends an ordinary play for power, she answered, leaving no veil upon her conviction.
Their laughter was unexpected, genuine, yet tinged with sentiments captured within that haunting moonlit realm.
Indeed. This is about belonging, understanding beyond the rules set by ghostly hands.
The Moonwalker's cryptic words resonated with the echoes of vacillation that had long defined Elara's existence. Each mission had pulled her deeper into a world of shadow, but the Crescent Cipher beckoned her to unravel not just an enigma, but a calling she had never suspected lay dormant in her soul. Yet an understanding bridged the crevice between them now, a sense of shared experience, shaped by roles and personas cast in compromise. Their lives had been molded from opposition, but within their meeting, there emerged a delicate alliance founded on common purpose.
The Moonwalker stepped forward, their voice a revelation punctuating sincerity with undertones of urgency. The Crescent Cipher cannot remain hidden. Its truths must be revealed before those unworthy claim its power as their own.
Facing them, Elara felt the weight of shared purpose, to protect what remained sacred amidst an arena of broken allegiances. In confronting the Moonwalker, allegiances shifted, revealing complexities that transcended mere rivalry. Together, they walked the moral thin line cast by their connection. Their charge seemed reciprocal, their goals aligned across meeting points, devised by more than the cosmic dance above. A singular choice demanded presence within velvety shadows, only broken by truth, to embrace all that flowed in unity or dissolve within chaotic complexity. Shadows cast with purpose encircled them, as Elara Sinclair joined her counterpart on the cusp of new beginnings, born from an ancient legacy. Together, they sought to understand the truths harbored by those elusive Crescent Cipher fragments, the secret energies of the universe waiting to be unveiled through collaboration, bound by echoes of moonlit whispers. Chapter 6. Revealing the Light. The passage of time was irrelevant under the moon's watchful gaze, as Elara Sinclair and her enigmatic counterpart, the Moonwalker, guided their combined efforts toward unveiling the secrets of the Crescent Cipher. Their unlikely alliance, layered with shared purpose, had formed a synergy of understanding strong enough to transcend their histories drawn from division. As they delved deeper, their collaboration began yielding vital clues to decoding the metaphysical puzzle. The Crescent Cipher unfolded slightly each step taken, offering its wisdom piece by piece, through revelations sparked by minds capable of hearing harmony among chaos. Amongst hours marked only by ineffable intuition, they uncovered what had once seemed improbable, a formula of cosmic abstraction married with universal concepts woven into text. Ancient scholars had initiated this creation, a conduit through which humanity might reconnect with both past and future, revealing a well of boundless energy to mend divides born from ignorance or greed. The enormity of what lay within their grasp demanded responsible consideration beyond mere instincts of self-preservation. The Crescent Cipher extended an opportunity, a choice to alter destinies both individually written and universally embraced. Within newfound understanding, the Crescent Cipher's locks released to emit a glow unlike any natural light, transcending metaphor and illuminating extraordinary truths. Energy unfolded not as destruction, but informed by potential, like all creation, adaptable to the whims of those fortunate enough to understand it fully. Chaos no longer claimed its stronghold, for harmony emerged from discord, gifted by knowledge reclaimed. In a world beyond mere temporal laws, the unity of reflection upon shared resolve drew pathways of comprehension spurred forth from shadow and elucidated by moonlit perseverance. They exchanged glances of reverence, recognizing that their competition had birthed friendship within a journey masked with unpredictability, a reflection of their lives, shaded in roles now embraced together. Elara and the Moonwalker emerged into Berlin's burgeoning dawn, a city that knew every denizen concealed their secrets, weaving stories wreathed with possibility amidst a narrative that extended far beyond the known horizon. Berlin would persist, both fragile and profound, echoes of shared histories permanently etched within its cobblestones. Elara breathed deeply, luxuriating in the defining moment that affirmed her instinctual pursuit. A new era lay before her, unchained from burdensome divisions forged long before memory could claim them. Her life, once obscured by shadows cloaked in uncertainty, emerged alight. Their destinies bound by the moonlight's truth, Elara Sinclair and the Moonwalker ventured forth into the affirmation of trust regained. The world rushed on as they cast finally untethered steps into the horizon, destined to unveil new stories in a world no longer bound solely to whispers in the shadow of the moon.